888-376-1361.
Back to Fox Top Story, the latest comments from President Trump and his lawyer on the Russia investigation. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano was here. Hello, Judge.
Hey, Shep.
Earlier today, you said to Bill Hemmer he's going to talk to him one way or another, and by that I mean the president is going to talk to Bob Mueller one way or the other. You're like, look, they can sit down one-on-one with a lawyer whispering in the president's ear.
Right.
Or a grand jury can subpoena him. Do you think that a grand jury subpoena is a real thing that might come for President Trump?
Yes, I do. I think that Bob Mueller knows that he needs to lock the president in to a version of events before he takes the next step, whatever the next step is, whether it's indictment or whether it's a referral for impeachment.
You really think Mueller might indict the president?
Well, last week in federal district court here in New York City, a federal judge at the end of Michael Cohen's sentencing said the president orchestrated and paid for this crime, the crime to which he was referring to one of the 9, to which Michael Cohen had pleaded guilty.
So you're saying the president's an unindicted co-conspirator?
Yes. I'm also saying that there's ample evidence. This doesn't require too much analysis to indict the president. The question is, do they want to do it? The DOJ has 3 opinions on this. 2 say you can't indict a sitting president. 1 says you can. But all 3 address the problem of what do you do when the statute of limitations is about to expire? All 3 agree in that circumstance you indict in secret, keep the indictment sealed, and release it the day he gets out of office. You can't let a person go scot-free because they happen to be in the White House.
So he may be an already indicted co-conspirator.
That I don't know about, but it could be because we don't know what's been sealed. And we don't know what he's been told. We don't know what Rudy Giuliani's been told. There are 2 Rudy Giulianis in this. There's a Rudy Giuliani who's trying to establish a baseline amongst the public that the indictment or the referral for impeachment of Donald Trump would be totally unacceptable politically. And when we see him sort of in a histrionic way saying things over my dead body, that's usually what he's trying to say. But I think last week with Chris Wallace, he was trying to send a message to Bob Mueller, and that is, we will negotiate with you to have the president speak. Even though he said we won't, I think he meant we will. Those negotiations had fallen by the wayside. I think they want to reconstitute.
Why? Because that's better than a subpoena?
Yes. Because Rudy's in the room, because they can stop the interrogation, they can walk out and they can confer with him. They can confer with the president after each question and before each answer if they want. In the grand jury environment, they can't. The president is in there. It is just the president and the prosecutors and FBI agents and grand jurors. There's nobody there to help him at all, and he would leave the room at his own peril.
Wonder what that sort of thing would do to the country.
Well, Bill Clinton was...
Definition of is.
Correct. Bill Clinton was interrogated before a grand jury, and he chose to have it on live national television so there'd be no dispute what he said. And he had it done in the White House. The grand jury was not there, but the prosecutors were, and then that tape was played to the grand jury immediately.
That was by agreement.
Correct. I don't know if there's going to be an agreement here. Giuliani and company have been negotiating for an agreement. At one point, he said the negotiations are getting closer. Then he said the negotiations fell apart. Then he threw that over my dead body, but I could be dead one day, to Chris Wallace on Sunday, which to me said to Bob Mueller, we're still willing to talk to you.
What's your professional take on what's happening? We're learning about a number of different crimes that were committed, and we know that because people have pleaded guilty to them.
Right.
We have no information of any kind from this probe about Russian collusion or anything like that. Is that by design? Or what is that?
Well, Bob Mueller's people have meticulously followed the book, by which I mean they speak only in a courtroom and they speak only either verbally to a judge or in writing in the documents they file. No leaks, no lies, no exaggerations come from their camp. So for those who say there's no evidence of collusion, I say 2 things. First of all, the crime is conspiracy. Collusion is a media term. Secondly, we don't know what Bob Mueller knows. We know there were 87 communications between the campaign and people in Russia during the height of the campaign in 2016. We know that Bob Mueller has had a couple of people explaining those communications to him. Paul Manafort, until he stopped. Rick Gates, who may still be explaining them to him. General Flynn, who explained them to him in such a way that they reduced his recommended jail time, down to 0, something the feds never do.
You say, as you always do, collusion isn't a crime, conspiracy is a crime, but a minute ago you said there's already a conspiracy and it involves the president. That's what you said.
That's what Judge Paley said last week when he sentenced Michael Cohen.
He said specifically what again? So
I
that our
don't know
viewers
that he
understand,
used the word
so
conspiracy.
I know, but so that our viewers understand this is not speculation. This is from the writing of the court.
The trial judge said verbally, the President of the United States orchestrated and paid for this crime, referring to the crime for which Michael Cohen was pleading guilty. Now, the President
And that is by definition a conspiracy?
Yes. Yes. The conspiracy would be the three of them in the room, Michael Cohen, David Pecker, and Donald Trump. Now, the president has denied this. Pecker and Cohen have said it happened this way. The president said either I wasn't there or I don't remember or I didn't hear, but it didn't happen. Rudy Giuliani says it didn't happen.
So at some point, a higher authority of some kind would make a determination on such a matter.
Yes. Now, the president does not want that to be a jury of the Senate or a jury of his peers.
Why not?
I don't think he wants to get to that point. That would be doomsday.
Doomsday?
Yeah. That would mean that there's enough evidence to indict and try or enough evidence to impeach.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome, Shep.
It's Monday.
Yeah, the week is just starting.
Well, in another week, it's Christmas.
Thank God.
I look forward to the birthday.
Same here.